what we say to ourselves is often a two-edged sword, right? It can build you up, it can cut you down. Why is self-talk so important for developing our self-belief?
Yeah. So we've done a lot of shows on it, right? And I've talked about Shad Helmstetter, who wrote the famous book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. And I'd Shad at a number of our events. Ethan Cross, we had him at our Peak Experience last year, and he did an episode 73, or episode 273 in our first season when it was the Brian Buffini show. And the big thing is, there's all this study now. Positive psychology has been around 50 years, and all the studies that show the thousands of thoughts that we have in a day, and that most of them are negatively directed towards ourselves. And so we have an onslaught. We're going to talk, and I'm sure we'll talk about what's going on in the culture, what's going on in social media, what's going on with the news media. But there's no stronger media than our own mind. And our own mind tells us all day long that we suck. And stupid, lazy, fat. I always said if you had someone who was a friend of yours say to you the things you say to yourselves, they wouldn't be your friend. Right? And they'll love your neighbor as yourself. Well, how do we learn to love ourselves? So what we say to each other is enormous. I'd say just a couple of thoughts for people. It is impossible for the unconscious mind to differentiate between sarcasm and truth. The two dynamics to this in regards to what we call affirmations is that you got to affirm what's true, and you got to affirm what can be true. So there has to be some qualifiers here. Shaquille O'Neal cannot affirm himself to being a jockey in the Kentucky Derby. He's 7'1" and weighs over 300 pounds. I want to be a jockey. I am a jockey. I'm the greatest jockey who ever lived. And there's a vein in personal growth and development today, which is of course not rooted in practical working, certainly not rooted in coaching, where you have to get people results, where just affirm whatever you want, lock yourself in a closet, attract to your inner light what you're supposed to be, and then affirm that, and then you will be rich and you'll be healthy. Oh, by the way, it happens in churches. It happens in churches. You just got to believe, and then you'll receive your anointing, and your anointing will come in the form of a Brinks truck. And it's the same level of BS that the new agey crap comes up with. And it is crap, because it doesn't work. And then what it gives people is false hope. So what do we have to do? We have to affirm what's true, and we got to affirm what can be true. So what's true? What have you done in your life? What are the gifts you've shown? We do the assessments with the profile. Okay, here's the gifts you're born with. What are the feedback? What are your trusted people around you? You're really good at this. What are the patterns you've seen in your life? I'm really good at this. And then what can be true? What can be true is the goals and the skills that you can develop in a certain area. You can go from being bad with money to good with money. Then you can affirm, I'm always good with money. It's just not like me to have my checks bounce and not be able to balance my checkbook. You can affirm that because you can learn a skill. So I think that's a big thing, is that we have to be very careful. The inner voice is very powerful. Words are very powerful. Where words are being skewed today to create clickbait. We use words to vilify and monsterize people of different political persuasions, racial persuasions, anything we want. We use these words to vilify. Words have power to them. It starts with us. So the words we say to ourselves are very powerful.